are you? Hello,
Hiya, nice to see you. Thanks for accommodating this morning.
Oh, sorry. Well, you know what it is. I'm laughing. How are you? You know what? I'd say.
My name is Edel Kyo and I work as a community traveller worker here in St Catherine's. I coordinate the programme. We touch on all different aspects of the needs of the travelling community, and the positive outcomes that we're getting is the repeat of people coming back looking for the supports. They've taken us into their confidence, which I think is very positive.
Let's say travellers are kind of like an ethnic minority group. You're not different than anyone else, you just have different ways of life, different cultures. You have your own personal language, different beliefs like religion beliefs and marriage beliefs. Like I have relations that are part of the settled community. They're afraid to even say that they're part of the traveller community in case like the relations of the settled side kind of judge them different. They're afraid to even admit that they're a bit of a traveller.
I might not have felt it as strong as Winnie because I'm a part of both. I'm from the settled community and the travelling community. Just a part of me is from the travelling community, and just because that one little bit, some people from the settled community would look down on you. Even when I was younger in school, playing sports, when another student would be asked to pick teams, maybe they'd always leave me till last. It was hurtful sometimes, and I don't know, I'm glad I kind of got to see a bit of both worlds too.
And then when we were sent to school, there was a stigma coming from the travelling background, so we were put back to the back of the classrooms. We weren't taught because their attitude was, well, you'll be married at 16 and you won't need to learn anything because you'll be a wife and have kids.
Travelling girls are not allowed to drink alcohol before they're married, so they kind of all connect, all those fears all kind of connects, like, do you know what I mean? So
that really upsets me, like the way travelling boys can do things that girls can't, and how a girl can so badly, one thing she does, like she's not in the traveller size anymore. Like it's a hard life being a travelling girl, to be honest. Like I think I envy settled girls because they goes and explores their life. They can choose what they want and where they want to go in life. We have limits like all the time around us. Like we don't be told saying if you want to go to college and stay for 6 months, go ahead and do it. Like you figure out yourself as you. Like we don't be told that. Like it's precious sometimes. Have to sit and clean all day, like when you could be doing an awful lot more to your life. 22, like.
your fears aren't actually as fearful when you actually kind of
sit down and
talk about it, and when you're reading the signs and you're actually kind of facing it. It's not actually as bad as what you think they really are.
Walking into the field affairs, the different departments, like it made me think, and I think it upset me a bit because I was thinking like, is everyone else here, like, are they relating to everything? Because most of the things that was written on these signs was related to me. Like,
and the more you'd read, the more then you'd actually see, and then you'd want to go back to that part that you could be at one part, and you'd look over and you'd say, well, there's another fear I have. Like,
I didn't think I had a lot of fears. I didn't think I had any insects until I went into the field of fears and sat down, and I was surrounded by hundreds of fears that I actually had that I never knew. But I am trying to face them, and it has helped me a lot, the 2-day process. I have faced some of my fears so far that I didn't even know I had.
I've always a fear of not being able to move on with another relationship. For maybe someone else to judge me for my mistake that I made and not be able to say your past is your past, put that behind you. But my mind is more clear of all those bad thoughts and worries and fears now. Now I find I can face your fear, don't let your fear face you, kind of. Like, don't let your fear kind of take over. Open your mind up yourself and kind of face it yourself, and don't let it capture your mind and walk its way around you and all that.
real peaceful, very peaceful.
Yeah, it wasn't actually. When you're in the field of fears, the time just flew by,
because you were
really.
so interested and you were so...
it didn't seem like you were, what were we? I think we're an
hour and a half.
Yeah, didn't feel that long at all when you were in there actually.
The domain of courage, that was really, really affirming, and like you say, you know you have these qualities. You're almost shy about even thinking that you have these qualities. If you recognised a quality in another member of the group, that you actually wrote it down and it went into their envelope. And it was such a surprise to open the envelope and to read and see that, you know, other people seen these qualities in you and recognise them, even if you didn't recognise them yourself. I loved being able to open up and face my fears, but the part I loved the most was at the end, where everyone put little comments into the envelope, personal comments kind of, and then at the end of the process we were able to just walk away, open up our envelope and read what values people actually saw in me. They said I had great honesty and respect for people that I worked with, which I do like, but it was nice for someone else to say that back about me. Like,
It was your time. You're not sharing it with the whole family. It's your time, like. So it was very peaceful, to be honest.
I think the domain of courage and sitting with the ribbon around my chair and, you know, writing all of my qualities was another key moment for me. I always think of myself as a very positive person. I like myself and I like my gifts, but I think during the domain of courage I actually wrote them down, and it's the first time I've ever done that, to write down these qualities that I would associate with myself. And again, I was amazed. I was looking all around me and I could see all these things. And then when we started the Purple Path, and I put down my 3 fears that I wanted to overcome and have it out with. And I went back a few times to the domain of courage and added new things to it, because I said, no, I need this, but I have it within me and I hadn't remembered it. So I really enjoyed that experience.
When I used to get up in the morning, I used to think of, oh God, what has to be done today? What have I to do? And it's a fear of not getting everything done. Now I get up in the morning, I think of the positive. And then I take 1 minute at a time as the day goes on, and everything gets done, where it's not rushed. You do one thing at a time and you get it done. And that fear of not getting everything done, I don't have that in the morning now, because I wake up with positivity, not fear.
I really learned since that, like, if I know I'm going to be afraid or whatever, like if I know something's going to upset me, like I'll kind of embrace myself a little bit more for it, and I say, like, I can either let it really bother me, or I can just understand how I'm going to help myself with the fear.
Oh, Sandra and Des were marvellous. Absolutely understanding, and then if people needed privacy, they got it in every sense of the word, and they were very good at standing back and letting people get on with their fears and their qualities, and they were very warm.
a couple of years back I was in a bad situation and I could never open up about it. I used to keep it all blocked inside, like I used to never talk about it. And the person I was in that situation with, if I even heard that person's name, or if I bumped into that person like out in public, I'd be terrified. I had a bad fear of bumping into that person. But after I did the process with Sandra and Des, it helped me to open up more and for how to cope with difficult situations. And now I can face it, and like I wouldn't be afraid to bump into that person now. And I can talk to friends at home about it and family, which before I used to block everything inside. I wasn't able to cope with the situation, and now I actually can.
My story and Winnie's story would be different, but when I hear her speaking out about facing her fears, I feel proud of her. Winnie is my friend and I'm happy for her. I was proud of myself for once to face that fear. And all the rest of the fears, sooner or later, I will face them. I want to face them. I know I have the courage and confidence now to face them, because I faced one of my biggest fears. So I'll get my little one sooner or later.
Go to sleep, my little tinker. Let all your troubles pass you by, for you have no place to camp now, 'cause that's a tinker's lullaby. Ever since you were a baby, cradled in your mother's shawl, the siren